Hello and welcome. This is Eric from AG Racing Central. Did you know that the space shooter action-adventure game from major publisher and developer Ubisoft had DLC that added anti-gravity racing? Did you know that in this game you can build and design your own vehicle, either digitally or with actual physical toys? I bet not all of you knew about this, but the game is called Starlink Battle for Atlas. Let's talk about it. The first games that come to mind when you hear the words Toys to Life are probably Skylanders or Disney Infinity, but during the prime age of the Toys to Life era, Ubisoft wanted their piece of the pie and started the development of Starlink Battle for Atlas, a space shooter action-adventure with a colorful cast, a vast solar system to explore, and the option to put together your ship with actual physical toys that instantly appeared on screen in the game. The first and only DLC pack added the option for you to race with your ship against AI opponents on a limited number of tracks. Of course, we'll talk about the racing aspects of the game, but I'll first summarize what type of game Starlink is to give you a bit of context. Starlink is an open-world space exploration game where you follow the Starlink initiative in their quest of exploring the Atlas system in hunt for their kidnapped commander. The cast is varied and colorful, and they all have well-written backstories. Not only will you have to fight off pirates and the mysterious Legion, both in space and on the ground, the focus also lies heavily on exploration, as you are tasked with scanning all of Atlas's wildlife, among other things. Piloting a starfighter like a hovercraft on the ground feels weird at first, but the controls are very well implemented, and zooming around over the surface of the game's many planets is actually quite a lot of fun. The special gimmick of the game is that it's a Toys to Life game. You start off by attaching a contraption to your controller, and to that contraption you attach the pilot of your choice. After that you add a ship body and attach the wings you want, and on the edge of the wings you attach one weapon on each side. The gimmick is very technically impressive, and any changes you make to your ship appear on screen instantly. It's a lot of fun to change your weapons in the midst of combat, and you can even turn them around to fire backwards. Almost all the pilots have their unique ship, and you can mix and match parts from them as you see fit. Up to 3 pairs of wings is possible for some truly bizarre creations. The well-made toys look great on display as well, and there's quite a good number of pilots, ships and weapons to choose from. It's worth mentioning that the Toys to Life aspect is completely optional, and everything is also available in digital form, and you then manage your loadout from a dedicated menu, accessed from the pause screen. You can combine physical and digital content together in any way you want, and attaching a physical toy to the contraption also unlocks a digital version of that toy for 7 days. All weapons are upgradable and also moddable, and each pilot has their own unique upgrade tree and special ability. On a side note, the Switch version of this game included the R-Wing from the Star Fox franchise, as well as Fox McCloud as a physical pilot. The rest of the Star Fox crew were later added as digital DLC characters, where they also got their own adventure to face off against the Star Wolf Squadron. This technically makes Starlink the only Star Fox game released for modern consoles. There's obviously more to say about this game, but it's about time we talked about the racing, as it's the main focus of this channel. The first and only batch of DLC for the game added the option of purchasing more weapons, ships and pilots, but the free part added a Crimson Moon, a new place to visit from the world map. On this outlaw-ruled moon, you can take part in combat challenges, but also racing events. By speaking to certain NPCs, you initiate a race against a couple of AI opponents. The transition from the regular gameplay to racing feels seamless and natural, as the ships already did feel great to control at high speeds. Some gimmicks were added though to make things feel even more like a racing game. The rechargeable boost mechanic remains in racing mode, and it fills up by colliding with blue orbs spread out over the tracks. The orbs are spaced in such a manner that if you keep a good racing line and fly with precision, you can keep your boost going over the entirety of the 3 laps that all races consist of. The racing in Starlink also includes a drift mechanic that you activate by holding the left bumper. It works really well, and nailing the perfect drift in a long corner where you slide over several boost orbs in succession is very satisfying. Some orbs are also hovering in mid-air, which is no problem because your ship can jump, something that you will need to do to get over the many different obstacles on the track, or navigate the more difficult shortcuts. You also have the option of shooting your obstacles, or your opponents for that matter, as you can equip weapons and use them in the same way as you can in the regular game. Each track is quite lengthy and takes a couple of minutes to complete. There are only 4 of them, but they all feature a different visual style along with several different alternate routes, so multiple runs are necessary to fully explore every aspect of each track. They offer a decent challenge, but getting first place should not be impossible once you master the drifting mechanic and discover the right lines to maximize your orb pickups. What is also fun is that you can customize your ship in exactly the same way as you do in the regular game. This means that you can enter a race with some truly weird looking ships that is safe to say is not seen in any other racing game. The different pilots, ship bodies and wings alter the stat of your ships in the main game, but I haven't done any thorough experimentation to see how the racing mode is affected. If you want to create something that's the most similar to the ships from Wipeout, F-Zero, Pacer and other similar anti-gravity racing games, I suggest picking a sleek chassis and removing the wings altogether. You can even attach weapons to your ship mid-race and pretend that you just ran over a weapon pad.
Good flying. Don't leave any behind.
The racing in Starlink is really well put together, even though there aren't a ton of tracks available. It remains a side activity in an action-adventure game, but considering how cheap Starlink is when on sale, it might just be worth picking up for the racing aspect alone. And you also get a vast space exploration game included in the price. Starlink is available on all the modern consoles and on PC. If you want to see more videos about Starlink, let me know in a comment, and also feel free to share your experience with the game if you own it. Click on this video to learn about some more anti-gravity racing games you may not have heard of, and thank you for watching. I am Eric from Major Racing Central, and I'll see you in the next video.